Hi, I'm Gary Donnelly, and welcome to another one of my Dimlets, which are really little snippets of information on dimensions CM and RM. What I've done this time is actually created two Dimlets. I came up with the Dimlet idea to use the RUR command, a run user report. And there's an entry in the knowledge base that goes through and shows you how to use this. And so this presentation really borrows heavily from that. I've modified it because it was written for Dimensions 8, and I've upgraded it. I actually looked the other day and didn't see it, so I have the original one on my web page, which you can certainly download. But it also gives a good indication of why you should go into the Serena knowledge base and poke around and see what's there, because there's a lot of good information there. Anyhow, the two Dimlets that I have here, the first one is setting up the reports, and that is setting up the file and registering the report file inside of Dimensions using the admin console. The second Dimlet is in using that web interface and also the desktop interface to run those commands. Now keep in mind, the command that we're running doesn't have to be a report. It could be, in fact in the case of the example here, simply a batch shell that you can use to run anything you want. But welcome to the Dimlets. Thanks for attending, and I hope you get some good information out of this. Thank you. We're looking at the first page of the knowledge-based entry, which I have updated because the one that was in the knowledge base was written against Dimensions 8. And it says what we're going to do is create a file, a bat file in the temp directory, and it's going to be called changedoc_report.bat. And in there we're going to put the following lines of text as we see, starting from the SQL file equals and down to the delete/f line. Now the text of what's going to be in this batch file is going to be thus. It's essentially going to set a variable SQL file to that path temp rur.sql. And that's going to be a file that we're going to create and then run and then delete. And in that file we're going to echo the batch file echo and we're going to put the command set pages equals 0 into there, and then we're going to put the select change doc ID in there, and then we're going to put the exit in there. So the set pages 0 is going to turn off pagination. The second line select change doc ID from PCMS change doc data is actually going to get data from one of the published views and dump that to that file, and then we're going to exit that file. Then what we're going to do, this line is going to run the Oracle SQL Plus command against the intermediate base database at the dim10 connection, and the at the end is going to say go to this file that we just created and take the SQL commands from that file. So those three previous lines are going to be executed. Then what we're going to do is delete, without asking for confirmation, the file that we had, and the results will be in the directory, the temp directory. We have logged into the administration console as the administrator, and we get the main screen, and we're going to highlight under the database management area on the far right the user reports administration, which I've shown highlighted in a little oval. By selecting that, I'm going to get the user report definitions screen, and you'll see the reports that come from Serena out of the box, starting from part attributes down to trace report. What we're going to do is create a new report definition. So we're going to select the new icon on the top left, and we're going to get the new user report definition screen. And you can see that the name has to be filled in. The little red exclamation mark says that. The other two have to be filled in as well, but they are. The operating system in our case is also going to be Windows, but the scope isn't going to be all scopes. Now if I were to pull that down, I'd see version management and I'd see change management. And we don't want all scopes because this is just going to be a report on change requests. So what we're going to do is fill it out. And we're going to fill it out with the name of our report, which is going to be changedoc_test. We're going to leave the operating system as Windows because that's what it is. The scope, I've pulled that down, the pick list, and I've selected change management, and I've given it a description. Dump all change request names. Having filled it out, I'm then going to hit or select OK. That's going to take the definition and list it alphabetically on the left side, and you can see the information of those reports on the right side. And again, I've highlighted the new one that we just created. Then what I'm going to do is, well, I selected change.doc test on the left, and you can see on the right I get the specifics about that particular report. And at the bottom, I now have to say, when I run this report, here's where I'm going to go to execute the file. So in the report files area, I'm going to select the plus sign. That's going to give me the new report file window. And you can see that everything here, except for the final runs report block, is mandatory. So I'm going to have to fill that in. And I did. I filled it in with the name of our report, changedoc_test. This is the first revision of it. Now the file is this batch file that we just edited earlier. It's in the temp directory, and it's called changedoc_report.bat, which we're going to call it that when we run, and we want it to run the report when we run this file. What that will do is the changedoc_test revision 1 will appear under the user reports files as I've got it highlighted, and then if you select it, you'll see the general and used by tabs on the right hand side with additional information. Coming back to the user reports definitions tab, you'll see that changedoc_test report is listed there now, and on the bottom right, where it was empty before, it now shows the report file that will be run when we run this report. Well, that's the setting up of the report. So we saw how we created a file, and we then went into the admin console and registered that file or that report so that it can be executed by the Dimensions users. What we're going to do now in the next Dimlet is show you how to run that command both from the command line and also from the web client.